Hi guys, and welcome to yet another tutorial. So to make this dress, we'll be using, I have 4 years of the Ankara fabric, and I have 1 yard of the lace fabric. Actually, the lace fabric is more than 1 yard, so I'll be making use of the lace fabric that I have. You can use 1 yard or 1.5. So now let's get to the cutting aspect. So to cut, I'll be cutting out the upper part first. Now for the upper parts, I'll be folding my fabric into two. I'll be cutting the back and the front separately. So this way, I'll be folding on the wrong side of the fabric, like so. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to fold my fabric into two. I'll be using my bust measurement for the folding because my bust is a bigger part of my body for the upper part. So I'll be cutting using my half length. This dress is not padded. If you want it padded, you can go ahead and pad it, but for what is in the design, it's not padded. So I'll fold my fabric like so into two. My bust is 36. Quarter of 36 is 9 inches. So that 9 inches, I'll be marking out. For the 9 inches, I'll be marking out. I'll be folding my fabric into two. My biggest part is the waist. So is my bust. My bust is 36. So quarter of 36 is 9. I'll add 2 inches so in allowance. That makes it 11. So I'll fold the fabric into 11, like so. So this is 11. Now I'll go ahead. Here's 11. Good. I'll go ahead and cut out this French edge. I don't want it to show in my dress, so I'll cut it out. Then I'll measure my shoulder. My shoulder is 6.5. Then from there I'll come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Then I'll mark my neck width, which is 2.5. Then I'll make a slant. So after making this slant, I'll come down by my armhole, which is 8 inches. And then I'll draw a straight line. At the center of the armhole, I'll come in by 0.75. Then I'll make a curve, my armhole curve, like so, following the. So here is my. And then for the back, I'll just make an armhole curve for the back, like so. Then I'll go ahead and measure my half length. My half length is 15, but I'm measuring 16 because I'll be using half to join up, half to join down. That makes it 16. So from this 16, I will draw out a straight line. Okay, so here I'll measure my bust. My bust is 9, then I use 2 inches for, so that makes it 11. So I'll mark out 11 here for my bust. Then for my waist is 32. Quarter of 32 is 8 inches. I'll add 1 inch for that allowance, then 2 inches for sewing allowance. That still brings us back to 11 inches. So my neck depth for the back is going to be 1 inch, while my neck depth for the front is going to be 3.5. So I'll first mark out the back neckline, then I'll mark out the front neckline like this, so I can cut out now. We'll now fold again, but this time I'll be leaving zipper allowance for the back. So for me to fold again, I'll leave zipper allowance for the back, which is going to be 1.5. I'll just place my front bodice on the back like this. So I'll trace out to cut the back measurements. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and mark out half inch for the zip. So I'll trace it to this part here. This will make the bodice relax at the back, so to not be bulging out. So now I'll cut it out. So we are good to go at this point now. We have our upper bodies. Now let's go to the lower bodies. My total gown length is 58, but I'll be making use of 60 because I want it to touch the ground and be flowing. So, and I also use part of it to hem the lower part. So we've cut out 15 inches for the upper bodies. Now to get our lower bodies, I'll be mark. I have 60 minus 40. That gives me a minus 15. That gives me 45. So 45, if you notice, if you look at the dress, you see that the first step is longer than the down step. So I'll be cutting out, I'll be dividing that 45 into two, making sure that one is longer and the other is short. So I'll make the upper part 25 while I make the lower part 20. And when we are cutting this, we'll be adding 1 inches to it for joining for the upper part, 1 inch to join it to the half length, and I mean half inch to join it to the half length, then half inch to join to the lower length. Then for the down part too, I'll do the same thing, half inch to join to the second part, while the half inch should join the hemming allowance. So instead of me measuring 25, I'll measure 26. Now for me to know how I want my gathers to be, I'll just multiply my waist times 2. I can make it waist times 2.5 or waist times 3, depending on how full you want your dress to be. Because this dress is still going to have a lower I'll just measure my waist times 2. My waist is 32 times 2, that makes it 64. So I can just round it up and make use of 70 inches. So I'll measure 70 inches by 26. That's going to be my first layer. And for the second part, is going to be times 2 of what I have up. So the upper part is going to be 70. So times 2 is, we have 140. So make it 140 by 21 inches. 140 by 21 inches. So let me go ahead and cut that, then I'll show us how to cut. I've cut out the upper part and the lower part. This is 120 by 25, why this 120 by 21, this is 120, this is 70 by 26. So I'll set this aside. Now we'll go on to the upper part again to cut out the facing for the front. So for this front, I'm going to cut out the neckline. So you'll notice that it is a square that was first at the neckline. So I'm going to fold my square this way. And looking at the picture, you notice that the blouse was almost at it was not getting here. So I'm going to just cut the facing first like this. The facing for the neck. So then I'll come down by the bust point. My bust point is 10 inches. But you notice that it was the pleat that got to the bust point, so I'll be stopping at 8 inches. So I'll just draw a line here. So now I'll draw a line from here, just like from here I'll measure 1 inch. 1 inch is okay. Okay, let me use a color shock so that to be obvious. So I measure 1 inch, then I'm coming down to 8 inch, and 7 inches is okay, 7.5, so that I can have space. So remember, this is 2.5 plus 1 is that give us 3.5. So I'll mark 3.5 here, then I'll make a square like this. So I'll cut it out now. So this is going to be for the neckline. Now I'll go ahead and cut out the pleat that was there. Before I cut out the pleat, let me quickly cut out the sleeve. So whatever I have left, I'll use it to cut out the pleat. For the sleeve, it's a puff sleeve, so, and it's long, but this is what I have, so I'll be managing what I have. I actually bought this clothes for children wear, where I use the edges. So I don't have any edges in this dress. I would have used the edges for the pleat, but since I don't have edges with the head, I will just make do with what I have. So I'll be folding this into 4 to cut out our sleeve length, our sleeve. So because it's a big sleeve, I have to fold enough, like so. So I'm having like 11 inches, which is perfect for me. Then I'll shape out my sleeve. My sleeve length is actually 30 with my shoulder. So if I take away my shoulder this way, let me see what I have left. I have 31. So I'll be using the 31 to fold for my elastic casing. So it's still okay for me. Then I'll cut out my sleeve like this. Here is my sleeve. I'll notch the center so that I will not get confused when I'm sewing. I'll set it aside. Now, what I have here, I'll use it to cut out the pleat. For the pleat, I'll just cut out a straight line because it's on fold like this. So this length is okay for me. I have like 2.5. Let me measure. I should have like 2.5. Okay, I have 2.25, which is still okay. So I'll cut out this. I have 3 pieces of this. When I'm pleating on the dress, I'll know how to manage it. So now we are done with the cutting. We go on to the sewing aspect. For the sewing, I'm going to cut lining for this, but before then, I'll place my fabric this way. I'm going to hold my fabric this way. So this velvet trimmings, which I'll be using. So you notice we have 2 of it at the upper part like this. So I'll cut first, sew this part. I think leaving this as 8 is kind of short. I have to cut another of this, but I'll make it longer this time. I'll make it, instead of 8, I'll make it 10. 10 will be fine, so that I can have the whole design there. Let me just make it 10. Let me cut again and make it 10. So what do I have here? Okay, this is exactly 10. Good for me. So now I'll place this here, the right side. Okay. Now I think I have a wider space now. So I'm going to sew this. Let me trim it. I'm going to sew this together. They are together like this. I'll cut out. This into two. So this is okay. Then I'm going to place this like this. After placing this like this at the center, then I'll come again with the tiny piece and make a sewing like this. I'll fold this end this way like this. When I'm sewing, I'll just sew this way, then when I get here again, I'll make a fold here too. Then I'll sew to this part and cut off the excess. After doing that, I'll go ahead and sew this pleat here. I'll start making a pleat like so. See, like this. I'll be sewing now. As I'm making that pleat, I'll be sewing it like this, till I exhaust what I have left. And when I get here, I will give it a bend like this so that I can continue this way, like so. Then I'll take the second. The way I'm looking at this fabric, this material might not be enough, so I have to cut this back into two. Then I'll cut it at this French edge, so there will be no need for me to fold it again. So I'll just cut this at this French edge like this. This is how I'm going to be using it. I will not be folding it into two again. I'll do the same thing for this. I'll cut this fresh edge here. So now, like I said earlier, so I'm going to first sew this down like this. I'll make sure that this place is held well so it will not be shifting. So when I finish sewing this, then I'll go ahead and sew this like this way, leaving some inches, and I'll make sure that the folding, this one pass through the edge of this so that to cover the rough edge here. Then I'll fold it, bend it again like this, and sew straight. So when I'm done sewing that, then I'll come to this edge and start sewing on the lace fabric that is there. I will start sewing like this till I exhaust what I have. Then when I finish sewing the first, I'll go again for the second. the second will be immediately after it. No, this is the first. So I'll just place the second like 1 inch away from it. So I'll just sew like this, like this, like this. Then I'll sew till I exhaust what I have. After that, I'll come back to show us the next step. So now I'm done attaching this to the neck. You can see this way, and I also sew this. Then I've made the 2 layers. See this part that is open and rough. We are going to take our bias trimmings. These are bias trimmings. Going to sew it, place it on it like this. Then use it to cover up that rough edge. I will sew. When I get here, I will bend. Then sew like this. Then do the same thing here. Bend here. Fold this part in. Then go ahead to the end. So when I get here, I will cut off the excess. When I'm done doing that, I will just go ahead, not to waste our time, to sew our lining, because the lining, notice that there is a bias tipping at the edge, so I will not be turning the neckline. I will only sew this side and this side, then I will turn it over and iron. The back also, I will do the same thing. The back, I will sew, place my lining on it like this. On the right side, I'll place my lining this way. Then I will sew down. I also sew down. Then I will turn it and iron it, give it a good press. When I'm done with that, I'll also go ahead with this is the lining for the lower part. I just cut a straight lining like that. I'll just gather it with it. So I'll go ahead and draw my gathers. I'm going to sew gather stitch, straight gather stitch on this hem down. Then I'll gather it to the length of the first step. So I'll gather it to get to the length of the first step. Then I'll also sew a gather stitch here. I'll gather it to my waist, which is 32, with my zip allowance, which is 35. Then I'll do those and come back and show us what to do next. Now I'm done attaching the lining. So look at the front. After sewing the front part, this part, I've sewn it. You see how neat it is. Then I went ahead to attach the lining, and I've done it. Then I also sew that line. I also folded that line. So we'll be making the darts for the front now. For the front darts, the bust point is 10. So I will be starting from 11 inches. So this is where my 11 inches is. Now my under bust is 13 inches, but I'll be using 13.5 because I'll be using half here. So I'll use 11.5 here. So my down to my waist length. So from here now, under my bust, I'm going to measure 0.75, while I'm going to use just 0.5 here. So I'll just form the darts this way, like this. So I'll make sure that I raise, when I'm sewing, I move this part up so I don't sew on it like this. So I'll go ahead and sew my darts here. The reason why I'm putting much inches for the underbust is for it to be able to hold my underbust very well, since I'm not padding it, at least to make it fitted at the underbust. So I'll do the same thing for this side too. My bust point is, I'll go to the back and measure 7 inches downward for my darts. This is 7. Then from the half length, I'll measure half inch So I'll connect a straight line to this. So this is going to be my dart for the back. Same thing for these two. 7 inches by half an inch. Then I'll go ahead and draw a straight line from here to meet. So this is for the dart. I'll sew the dart. After sewing the dart, then I'll go ahead and join them on the shoulder using this side, using it like this. Then I'll use this the back lining. I'll use it to turn it to come to the back like this. Then everything is arranged like this. Then I'll sew. I'll do the same thing for the left side. After doing that, I have my sleeve. I'll go ahead and bend my sleeve like this, 0.25. Then I'll fold again. The casing should be enough to pass for my elastic to pass through. So I will sew down using yellow thread for this. Then my skirt parts, I've already gathered it like so. So you see it's gathered. This is the lower part and this is the upper part. Now I gather this lower part to the length of this upper part. So I'll go ahead and sew, turn it this way, place it like this. So I will sew this on it this way. I will sew all through. And when I finish sewing, I can interlock or leave it like that. Then I'll come back to show us the next step after doing all this that I just mentioned. Okay guys, now I'm done joining the shoulder together and holding my dart. So when it is worn, it will go this way. So this way, you can see. Then I also hold the dart for the back, and then we have this. Next step now is to attach our sleeve. I also make a casing for the elastic. So I'll be passing the elastic. I cut elastic. My round wrist is 8 inches, so I cut out 7 inches because I'll be using half to join at the side. So to reduce back to 6, I don't want it to be too tight on my wrist so that it will not be giving me mark. That's why I'm using that's 7 inches. If you want it to be very tight, you can use like 5 inches. So I'll pass this my elastic through the elastic casing. Then I'll quickly do this here. I'll do the other one off camera. So I'll use this pin to hold it like so. Then I'll pass it all through. Oh, sorry, I've been working out. So I'm just passing my elastic through the casing like this. Now bring it out, remove the safety pin and use the office pin to hold the elastic to the fabric so it doesn't escape like this. Good. Then now I will take my body. This is my center. I've notched the center, so I'm going to hold it like this. See, this way. So I will sew around. When you're sewing for this side, let me show you. From here like this, you raise this up till you get to this part. Hope you are seeing. So when you get to this part here, continue to raise it up. When you get to this part here, you just bring this lace down a bit, then you sew across it like that, and you continue sewing. That's what you're going to do for the both side. After
sewing the sleeve to it and passing the elastic. I'll come back to show us the next step.
Guys, now I'm done attaching the sleeve to it and I've weaved it. So I'll go ahead and place my fabric into two. You notice that I've not done anything to the neckline now. So I'm going to pin this down. My zipper allowance, I'm going to pin it down. Let me start from the sleeve. I'll just sew from this sleeve here. Put this together. Use half inch to join it. I'll use half inch to join to this part. Then I think there's an excess here. Let me just trim it off. So when I get here, I'll measure my bust measurement. My bust is 36 divided by 2 because it's folded into 2 now. So divided by 2, that's 18. So I'll measure what I have here. I have 20 in total. So I need 18. That means I'm going to mark 1 inch here. And I'll also mark 1 inch here. Then I'll go to my waist. My waist is 32. So divided by 2, that's 16. I'll mark what I have here. So I have 18. So I'll mark out 1 inch here. I'll also mark out 1 inch here. Then I'll go ahead and sew 1 inch. Then when I enter the sleeve, I'm going to be using half inch to sew to the hem. I will sew the two sides together. When I'm done, I'll come back to show us the next step. Alright guys, now I've sewn that 1 inch all through and I've turned it over. So we are gradually getting to the end of the tutorial. The next step now is to go ahead and fix the lower parts, the skirt part. No, I showed us then how to fix this lower part to the upper part of the skirt. So now I'm going to arrange it like this, right side facing right side, this way. So I will start from here like this. I'll make sure that the gathers are even, they are not concentrated in one side. So I'll just go ahead and sew my gathers on it this way. So I'll sew. If I finish sewing this way, I'll take my lining. I've weaved the hem of the lining here. So I'll take the lining, I'll turn it to the right, to this side, to the lining side. So lining will face lining. Then I'll start pleating it to this. I'll pleat it till I get to till I exhaust the lining. When I'm done with that, I'll come back to show us the next step. Okay guys, now I'm done attaching the lower part to the bodice. Look at it, you see. And then I've attached the lining to it. So let me turn the other side for us to see. You see the other side looking so neat. The lining I made use was very short. So you're making yours, please use a longer lining. That's what I have available for me. Now the next thing now is to cut bias for this neck. I'm going to be cutting a bias taping. I'll use the remaining fabric that I have left. Yeah. So this fabric, I'm going to cut this on the bias so that it will relax. So I need, it's going to be like 1.25 inches. Let me see if this will be enough for the neck round. So I'm going to start sewing from here like this, like so, like this. So what I have will be enough. So when I finish sewing from the inside, then I'll turn it outside. I've sewn this, I'll now turn it like this. Then I'll pipe it, sew it round like that. After doing that, I'll fix my zip. I'll fold this way. Yeah, fold it this way. So from here downwards, then I'll fix my zip up. Then we are done. After fixing my zip up, we are done. Just the last thing is just to hem the lower part. Yeah, the lower part is very neat and looking good. I might decide to leave it if I want it longer, or I can hem it. So that brings us to the end of the tutorial. Let me go and do all these things and come and show us the final look. Guys, I'm done. Look at the neckline, sitting pretty after attaching it. Then I try to maintain it up. So here is the neckline, you see. Then I'll fix the zip also, the zipper, like so. So I'll fix the zipper this way. I went ahead to sew it down. I'm supposed to go ahead and interlock these edges so that to prevent it from flaying. I decided not to hem the lower part because I said I want it to be 60. Look at it, I left it that way because the lower part is also neat. The French edge is not very obvious, so I want it to be touching the ground. That's why I left the lower parts. For yours, you can hem it, and then we are finally done with today's tutorial. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. If you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please do that and turn on your notification button so that we can get you notified whenever we have a new tutorial. So for now, I say bye. See you in the next class.
I almost forgot the belt that was at the band that was at the waist. So what you do, you're supposed to sew it before joining the down part, but either which way I can still sew. So I'm going to hold this place like this, then I'll place it here this way, close to this band here. Then I will sew round, then I'll come back again and sew this upper edge round. I'll make sure that it's close to this band here. I'll sew it neatly, and then we are done.